For task 1, I updated the vertices and added the colors and updated the buffers. And here's the star. For task 2, I added in the extra vertices to show solid colors. Here it is. Task 3. Okay. So in task 3, I modified the struct to have color on top. And then I updated the vertice array like the question asked. And what happened was there was no star. And that was because the input layout wasn't updated. So over here is what we had before, and I moved color on top of position. And then the other thing that had to happen was I had to move the byte array that was in the byte array that was in color needed to be in position because that's where the offset is at. So now since I updated the layout, the star or the triangle appears. Okay, task 4 was to use the constant buffer. So I set that up over here, and we use the integer to track the color number. And in my shader, this is where it reads the color information and it gets activated. And then I updated the buffer on mouse down. So you'd see it in action, and there it is. Okay, I think that was the last deliverable. So on to the further work questions. For question 1, the difference between a shader constant and a constant buffer. I think, let me pull up the shader. So these are shader constants. They have a value and it runs during one execution of the render pipeline. Constant buffers, they can hold the data. So they can hold the shader constant data, and if they need to, they can update it. So in task 4, we wrote a buffer that held this active color shader constant, and when it needed to, on mouse down, it updated it. So constant buffers can update, shader constants just have a value. I think there's one more question. Further work 2. So I'm not 100% sure about this one, but I think, let me pull it up so I can explain it. So my theory is that there's the black or the whiteness is getting added to the triangle as we see on the screen. It's dark in the middle and it gets brighter and brighter. And the reason why we don't see that happening on the outside, like in the sample screenshot, is because there's no data over here. The blue screen is just background color from over here. And so since there's no data over here, there's nothing to add white to, and that's why we don't see anything. So to test that out, I decided to make the triangle bigger. Where is it? Okay, here, float test. So if I made the triangle bigger, we should see something similar. Let's make it a float. We should see more white values being added. So yeah, so here's the white, and it's getting added more and more to the end of the screen. So because there was pixel data here, there is something to add white to. But since there's no pixel data here, there's nothing to add to, and that's why we still see the background. So that's my attack on that question. And that's the last one.